Let's do a full throttle punch toward the... Ouch! Wow! Oh, that really picks up. And here's what... I didn't know this when I started to make this video. This is really... I thought I was going to conclude this video by saying you can run 4S, 5S, and 6S depending on how you want the quad to fly, to the moon speed versus sort of controllable proximity. But it's even better than that. With just a throttle curve, I could just dial it up and down using the side slider on my Tyrannus to change it from 50% throttle to 75 to 100%. And I don't even need to carry different voltage batteries. If I owned this quad, oh, I do. If I would just get 6S batteries and then dial it down with a throttle curve, and it flies great. You don't get hot motors. You didn't even have to change the PIDs. I didn't even change the PIDs.
I'm Joshua Bardwell, and you're going to learn something today. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what's a good bind-and-fly, ready-to-fly quadcopter? If I don't want to build something, I just want to buy something and know that I'm getting pretty decent value for money. And one of the ones that I've recommended is the Holybro Kopis 2. And today, we're looking at something a little different. Holybro Kopis 2, what? Rotor Riot Special Edition. Now, hang on. Some of you guys are like, oh good, Rotor Riot slapped their logo on something, I'm out. Don't go, because this isn't just like, oh, a review of this quadcopter. No, we're going to explore the effect of motor KV and battery voltage. We're going to do some science. Oh, and also there's a new Holybro Kopis 2 Rotor Riot Special Edition. The camera is the Rotor Riot Micro Eagle JB Edition. It's my custom tune of the Micro Eagle, which is my favorite camera. And more relevant to this video, the motors are the Hype Train Stinger Swarm 2150 kV motors. And when I heard that Holybro wanted to do a Rotor Riot Special Edition, I said, let's put the 2450 kV, the Hype Train Acro motors on it. And they said, no, we want the 2150. And I said, you're going for 5S? That's pretty weird. And they said, no, we're going for 6S. And I said, 6S 2150 kV, that's a little high. Normally 6S quad would be around 1750 kV, maybe 1900 kV, 2150 kV. And that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to fly this quad on 6S, 5S, which is really what those motors are designed for. We're going to fly it on 4S, which Stiggy has said he flies the 2150 kV motors on 4S for like proximity, where it needs a little more control and a little less power. We're going to try that. And then we're also going to try flying them with a throttle limit. So we're going to fly 6S and take it down to 4S and compare. We're just going to play with all these different variables. That is what we're doing in this video. And let's not waste any time. Let's head right outside and do it.
I'm going to try to do kind of the same maneuvers for each one. We'll just fly over here. Just do some cruise and see the throttle position where we cruise. We'll do some sharp turns and see how the prop wash handling is. Let's do some full throttle. And then we'll just do some flying. I'm not going to go bonkers because I don't want to crash and damage the quad or mess up the test. People might sometimes feel that my freestyle is a little repetitive, but I like to say that that makes me a good tester. Ha ha! Oh, didn't I say I wasn't going to crash? Damn it. Trying to do some Vanover moves. It's still got some lift. $14.4, $14.7 coming back in. $14.8, $14.6. I mean, we're definitely getting down where I would want to. Dropped some altitude there. So we're definitely starting to feel the voltage dropping, but still pretty flyable. 4.29, 4 minutes 30. Could keep going. I think you could get 5 minutes of decent freestyle out of this. So that was 4S on 2150 kV, and I'll bet that a lot of you were surprised at how weak that wasn't. Nobody's impressed, but nobody's going to look at that and go, oh wow, that was so powerful, especially when you see the 5S and the 6S go on the same motors. But I've been flying my 1750 kV 6S quad on 4S every now and then, and it's not bad. It's not the worst. Like, you would expect it to be the worst. So weak you couldn't even fly it. But you can make if you can fly a tiny whoop and try to freestyle it, you can sure as hell freestyle a 1900 kV quad on 4S. So that was 2150 kV on 4S. Let's try what it was actually designed for, 5S. Now you'll notice I've got watts on the DVR, and we're definitely going to see the watts go up as the volts go up, because the kV is the same, so we're going to make more RPM, more power. We're not going to gain efficiency. What I do want to see, though, is I am cruising at a lower throttle position on 5S. That's to be expected. Am I cruising at a lower amount of watts? Nothing else has changed. We'll have to go back to the DVR and check that. I was at about 35% throttle. Here I'm at about 25%. How is the efficiency different? Obviously, this is not a bench test, so let's do some turns around the... The quad is handling almost better. About a full throttle punch up. Oh yeah, so as you would expect, it punches harder. Didn't get a chance to look at the watts there. Let's do one more. 1800 watts or so. And we'll do a full throttle run just to get a sense of the speed. Oof, oh yeah, yeah. So now let's just fly it a little bit. Now you would expect, we haven't changed the PIDs at all, so you would expect there to be more prop wash oscillation just because you would tend to need a lower P gain. It seems like it's doing a pretty good job with that oscillation. It feels like it's moving faster. Kind of affecting how I want to fly it, to be honest with you. On the 4S, I really felt very comfortable going into proximity situations. On the 5, oh hello, come back. On the 5S, oh, pay attention now, sir. It's moving faster, and it's gonna take. It feels like it's taken me a minute to feel like I'm in control. I kind of feel more comfortable staying out in the open. That's just because I'm not calibrated for it, though. Or because I'm a chicken. I feel like I want to be less aggressive on the throttle. And do these big swoopy moves more so than kind of tighter proximity moves. See, that kind of thing would have been a little different on 4S. Just that last minute catch when I didn't quite judge my altitude. But this kind of proximity stuff is a little easier on 4S to feel confident setting it up. Hello. To feel confident setting it up and lining up these gaps. See, like that. That was a... There you go. Point made. And I've just started hearing the battery beep, so I guess we're hitting 3.5 volts, even though I haven't got the memorized voltage off the top of my head. 4 minutes, 47 seconds. Still pretty good flight time. Okay, so now we're going to try 6S. We're just going to start with our little cruise. 18% throttle now. We're cruising at a 19% throttle, about 150 watts. Definitely at a lower throttle position, that's to be expected. Let's do some sharp turns. At this lower throttle position, maintaining altitude is going to be harder. I'm going to be a lot more likely to pop up during these turns, and a lot harder to control my speed. Yeah, the lower your hover point, the harder it is to control your throttle. Some people might use Throttle Expo to deal with that. I haven't done any of that though. Let's do a punch and see our watts. Our watts should go, oh my god, 3,000 watts. Oh geesh. That's a lot more watts. Like, that's way non-linear. That's not just like 6/5 more watts. That's a lot more watts. Let's do a full throttle punch toward the... Hoge! Wow. Oh, that really picks up. Holy sh... Oh, I don't even know. Okay, let's... That... Oh, wow. That's pretty damn impressive. So it makes me want to fly this thing kind of like a race quad. It just accelerates so insanely. What is a freestyler to do with this much power? It really just... I don't want to fly it the same. The difference between the 4S and this is insane. It picks up speed so fast. Like, as I'm going through here, it's just, like, hard to make smooth. Of course, those pops are crazy. Those pops are crazy. I'm just getting up so high so fast, and then it takes me forever to come down. I just want to stay off the throttle. Video just dropped out. I don't know why. Yeah, my video just dropped out. I was still flying, so I didn't lose my battery. Something came unplugged or something. That's a bummer. Here's what I want to try next. I want to try 6S. I think I'm going to do it with a throttle curve, and here's why. I was going to do it with a motor curve, and if the PIDs were too aggressive on 6S, a motor curve would help tame the output and tame the PIDs. But it was flying fine on 6S. The PIDs were fine. I think if I just take a throttle curve and knock it down, let's say 50%, that'll bring us down to kind of 4S level, maybe 75%. We'll knock it down to like 4S or 5S level and see how that is. Let's do it. By flipping this switch, I've got the throttle capped at 75%. And we're going to fly this and see. So that should take it from 6S down to 4S in terms of its throttle, but still leave full authority to the motors. So let's see how this goes. So we're still hovering at 18%. That doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel like we're... Hang on. No, 75%, huh? That still feels... I don't know if the math is wrong. No, it needs to be at 50%. That's right. That was like 5S. So 50%. I did the math wrong. My bad. There. That's more like it. So now we're at 50%. We're cruising. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The throttle in the lower left is still going to be the same. It's just that my stick position is going to be higher because I'm capped at 50%. So we should be at about 4S. That's full throttle. We'll do another punch here. 900, 800 watts on full throttle. Curious how that compares. So this feels a little weak, to be honest with you. And this actually is a cool thing we can do, is we can just, because I'm doing this throttle curve in the transmitter, I can just bump the power to wherever I want it. Like, that feels a little weak. So let's just take this to 65%. That's more like it. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Okay, let's fly this. This is a 6S battery, but 66% throttle curve. So now immediately I feel like I've got more control for proximity stuff. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is pretty nice. So to me, this feels about like a good, powerful 4S quad. Maybe yeah, no, it feels pretty close to 4S to me. We're not going to the moon when we do pops, but we do get up there. It's pretty controllable. It doesn't feel slow. What happens if I drop it all the way down to 50%? Hang on. I'm dropping the throttle to 50%. That's full throttle now. So now that feels pretty weak. This feels actually like that at about 66%, it felt approximately like 4S, 2400 kV. At 50%, it feels approximately like 4S 2150 kV. This feels like when I actually had a 4S battery on this quad. Math probably works out, I think, but I'm flying, not doing calculations. So it feels a little weak here. How is we're at 700, when we were at a full battery, we were at like 900 watts. I would need to compare that to the 4S. Now we're at 22.1 volts. 4 minutes, 38 seconds. I'm going to try not to kill this battery. Alright, 21.7. We're going to bring it in. I don't want to kill this battery like I killed that other one. About 5 minutes flight time. It's pretty impressive, to be honest. It's pretty impressive. So here's what this quad has taught me. When Holybro said they were coming out with a 2150 kV motor targeted at 6S, I just thought they were crazy. Because 2150 kV on 6S is the same RPM as 3200 kV on 4S. You multiply by 1.5 to go from 6S to 4S. And nobody's running 3200 RPM motors on 4S. The props would explode, the batteries would sag, the amp draw would be crazy. It just... I mean, surely there's a reason we're not doing that, right? But this, for some reason, it works. 6S 2150 kV, amazing to the moon performance. And here's what I didn't know this when I started to make this video. This is really, I thought I was going to conclude this video by saying you can run 4S, 5S, and 6S depending on how you want the quad to fly, to the moon speed versus sort of controllable proximity. But it's even better than that. With just a throttle curve, I could just dial it up and down using the side slider on my Tyrannus to change it from 50% throttle to 75 to 100%. And I don't even need to carry different voltage batteries. If I owned this quad, oh, I do. If I would just get 6S batteries and then dial it down with a throttle curve, and it flies great. You don't get hot motors. You didn't even have to change the PIDs. I didn't even change the PIDs. It just, okay, so there you go. Like, are we all doing 6S wrong? When people went to 6S low kV, they started with, okay, I'm doing 2400 kV 4S, now divide by 1.5. What's the equivalent kV in 6S? And they came out at around 1600, 1700 kV. And slowly that's kind of been creeping up. People have been finding that for some reason you can go higher kV and higher RPM with 6S and still not sacrifice performance. And maybe like the highest I've heard of people doing is like 1900 kV on 6S, and it's kind of okay. Where's the limit? I have always liked the Holybro Kopis as a ready-to-fly quad. It's been on my Ultimate FPV shopping list for a long time, and I think they've made it even better because now it is way more versatile. The only limitation is that I think if you want to get the best out of it, you do want to use 5S or 6S batteries, which are going to be more expensive. But for those looking for a very versatile quad that can kind of do it all, I think this is a fantastic choice. This was not really intended to like be a review of this quad, but if you decide to get this quad, the only thing I don't like about it is that this foam core carbon that they use is not as durable as solid carbon. So definitely buy some spare arms and have some spare arms with you when you're flying. You're a little more likely to break them. But other than that, this is a hell of a good quad. There is a link down in the video description if you want to use it. It's an affiliate link. I do get a small commission, full disclosure. That's going to do it for this video, though. Thank you so much for watching. I just don't know what to do with this information. I don't know what to do with this information. My mind is kind of blown right now. 2150 kV 6S. How is that even flyable? Why have we never known this before? I guess Holybro knew something, or maybe they just took a... I think they just took a shot in the dark and got lucky. No offense, Holybro. I think they were just like, we're going to use the stingy motors, but 5S is not sexy. We're going with 6S. I don't know if they should get credit for luck or skill, but thank you, Holybro, for letting me make this video and learn this. I don't know what to do with this information. Am I just going to switch my quads to 2100 kV, 22,000 kV 6S with a throttle curve? I don't know. I really don't know. That's going to do it for this video. Happy flying.